Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is a video for lesson or classwork day 3. So actually it's going to be split into 2 days, 3A and 3B. There's a lot of questions for day 3, so I just thought it'd be easier, split into 2 days, so you don't have to do as much work for one day. It'll be split into 2 days. And you're going to see that the topics on the 2 days are very similar. This day 3 is going to be all about transformations and about similar triangles and things like that. So, all right, here we go. Classwork day 3A. A triangle is located in quadrant 3. If the triangle is reflected over the x-axis, in which quadrant does the triangle lie in? Okay, so we're going to draw our quadrants. Remember, I told you this is a coordinate plane. Coordinate begins with C. So if you make the C, it tells you where to start. So this is quadrant 1. As you go this way, it's now quadrant 2. Keep going to make that C, you get 3, and you finish up over here, and this is 4. So you have a triangle in quadrant 3. So let's say that, I'm just going to move this a little bit. Let's say we have our triangle over here, and now we're going to reflect it over the x-axis. Remember, reflected over the x, this one right here is your x-axis. Now, when you reflect it, it means fold it over. Okay, so you're just going to imagine folding it over that line, and now where it's going to land up in. Okay, so if you take this triangle, which is right here, and you fold it over, it's going to go right over here. It's going to go now into quadrant 2. Okay, so for our steps, just really more notes. We're going to write reflection means flip, and just know that they always face in opposite directions. Okay, same shape, same size, opposite directions. All right, number 2, what are the coordinates of B prime, the image of B, which is 0, 4, after dilation with a scale factor of 6? All right, so hopefully you remember when you see the word dilation, there was one operation you always thought, and that was to multiply. So you're going to take both of those and multiply it by your scale factor. So 0 gets multiplied by 6, and so does 4. So 0, 4 now is going to turn into, well, 0 times 6 is 0. 4 times 6 is 24, and that is your new coordinate. Please make sure that you have the prime. It's very, very important so you tell the difference. Okay, your steps, we're going to write multiply the coordinates by the scale factor. Okay, number 2 is done. Number 3, the figures below are transformations of one another. How is figure F in quadrant 2? Okay, so let's see. I have my C. This is 1. This is going to be quadrant 2. So this F right here transformed to make this one right here in quadrant 3. Okay, so first you want to notice they're the same shape and same size. So dilation is out. So you have translation, rotation, and reflection left. Now you notice that they're opposite directions. You took this F and you just folded it over, and it'll land up on this one. And this is just like the one up here. So it's going to reflection. And actually it's going to be just like the one above. It's going to also be reflection over the x-axis. So reflection over the x-axis. Or if you want to call it the horizontal axis. Okay, that's going to be 4. Maybe I wrote that. That might be in the final. All right, your steps. So reflection means opposite direction, just like above. And I need you to know the difference between horizontal, which is this way, or vertical, which is this way. So folding the paper this way is horizontal, but folding it this way would be vertical. All right, number 4, triangle ABC has the following coordinates. Okay, here's A, B, and C. Which set of coordinates represented triangle ABC? Dilated by 2. So, okay, so this obviously would have been multiple choice. You would have picked out which one is correct. Just remember, dilation, just like above, means to multiply. So every single one of these 6 numbers get multiplied by 2. So A prime, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. B prime, 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. And C prime, 8 times 2 is 16, 2 times 2 is 4. So those are your new numbers. Please make sure you have the primes so you can tell the difference. Multiply all the numbers by the dilation. So no matter whatever the dilation is, remember it's also called scale factor. That's what you multiply by. All right, next page. Number 5. The triangles shown are similar. So that's really important to make sure you know. Similar. Remember, that means corresponding sides. All about the matching sides. So find the values of x and y. All right, so let's start with x. So remember, I'd always use those highlighters in class. I would say 3, which is the left side, matches with x. Okay, then we need another side. I can't use the 4 on the y because it's another unknown. I need to find another set of sides where both of them are numbers. And there we go. So 3 matches with x and 5 matches with 20. So that's how you're setting up your proportions. 3 matches with x, that's your first fraction. So 3 over x. Make sure you have that equal sign in the middle. And then 5 over 20. 5 over 20. And then what you want to do is you want to cross multiply. Okay, so you want to do 5 times x, which is 5x. 3 times 20, which is 60. Divide both by 5, and you get x equals 12. Okay, now let's do our work for our y. So we're going to use that side, the corresponding sides that have the y. So now we're going to use the 4 and the y. Okay, so 4 and the y. I would not use the 3 and the 12, just in case you make a mistake over here. You're going to get the y wrong as well, so just ignore that side. But you're going to use 5 and 20 again. So 5 and 20 will be used for both of them. So 4 over y and 5 over 20. Cross multiply, 5y equals 80, divide by 5, and y equals 16. All right, so set up proportions, we cross multiply, and we solve. So that's our steps. So set up a proportion using the corresponding size. So that's the most important thing with this question. You can't have 3 matching with 20. I can't have this, let's call it, since it looks like a right triangle, this horizontal leg matching with the hypotenuse. Those are not correct. Okay, they have to be corresponding sides. And then cross multiply and solve, okay? And one more thing, remember, you always want to follow directions of the arrows. You don't want to start going left to right, so 3 to x, and then go backwards in 25. It has to be left to right, left to right. That's very, very important. All right, hopefully that one makes sense. So we had x equals 12 and y equals 16. All right, number 6, a photo with a length of 2 inches and a width of 6 inches. Okay, so let's see. We have a length of 2 inches and a width of 6 inches is enlarged, so we know it's going to be a bigger rectangle. The poster and photo are similar, so we know we're similar. The length of the poster is 8 inches. What is the width? Okay, so this is basically similar to what we just did. Instead of solving for 2 sides, you're just going to solve for 1, and you kind of had to set it up yourself already. So we know that this length is going to match this length. Okay, that's why they're in the same color. And we know this width is going to correspond, remember corresponding means matching, to this side. So let's set up our proportions. 2 is going to go to 8 and 6 is going to go to x. So 2 over 8, remember the corresponding sides. That's how you make your fraction. 6 over 8. Cross multiply. We get 2x equals 48. Divide by 2 and x equals 24. Okay, and that should make sense. 2 times 4 is 8. 6 times 4 is 24. So just like above, set up a proportion using corresponding sides. Remember, corresponding means matching, means the same position, like bottom to bottom, right to right. And then the same thing as above, cross multiply and solve. All right, so moving on. So again, a lot of transformations and a lot of similar figures. All right, so we have another dilation, just like the front. Remember, dilation always means to multiply. That's all you have to remember. So take both of those and multiply it. 6 times 3 is 18. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Okay, there's no letters to put in front, so we're just going to put it as the coordinate. And speaking of coordinate, make sure that you have the parentheses, so it is a coordinate. Okay, so multiply by the scale factor. All right, multiply the numbers by the scale factor. All right, and it looks like we have one more, number 8. So triangle ABC is translated 3 units to the right and 3 units down. Find the coordinates of the new A prime. All right, so we did this before we left. So take each point and you're going to follow the direction. So 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. And now before you put the second dot, you have to do a second move. 1, 2, 3 down. Okay, so that's A prime. Now let's do the next one. Well, we only need A prime, but I'm going to do them all. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's B prime. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, C prime. Okay, so we have all of them, but I only need this coordinate right here, which is 1, 2 to the left on the X, so that's going to be -2. So A prime is -2, and 1 down is going to be -1, okay? Because remember, these are your, let me write here so you can see. These are your positives to the right and negatives to the left on the X, positives up, negatives down on the Y. Okay, so your steps, you're going to move point A, or the whole entire triangle, whichever you'd rather. The number of spaces and directions. So it's spaces and directions. How many spaces and the specific directions the question says. Says to get the new point. Remember, all these notes can also be found on my website. Don't forget that. All right, so those are the 8 new ones for today. So go ahead, stop the video and try the next 8 by yourself. Remember, the way I do this. So question number 9, the first now you try is very similar, basically the same exact thing as question number 1. And then when you go to do question number 10, it'll be the same thing as question number 2. So use these notes to help you. All right, so go ahead, stop it, do the questions, and then come back and see if you get them right. All right, so let's see how you guys did. So a triangle located in quadrant 2. Okay, so we have quadrant 2. We have our X, we have our Y. This is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. Is reflected over the X-axis. So your X-axis you should have known as this one right here. It's going to reflect it down. And now instead of being in quadrant 2, it's going to be in quadrant 3. So you're going to fold it over the horizontal line. So if you said quadrant 3, you got it correct. All right, what are the coordinates of B prime, the image after dilation? All right, so hopefully all you did was just multiply by the scale factor. If you multiply both of them, you got 0 and 27. And then you got it right. Number 11, the figures below are transformations. How does the one top triangle produce the bottom? Right, so same size, so dilation is out. It's in opposite direction, okay, opposite direction. Automatically is going to be reflection. And you can fold it over this axis right here. Remember, that is our X-axis. So this should be your reflection. Reflection over the X-axis. If you put reflection, you got it correct. All right, number 12, looks like we're doing another dilation. So that's simply multiplying by 4. Okay, 1 times 4 is 4. 7 times 4 is 28. So A prime is 428. B prime, 2 times 4 is 8, 6 times 4 is 24. C prime, 6 times 4 is 24, 2 times 4 is 8. So 428, 8, 24, and 24, 8, and you got that question correct. All right, similar triangles. We have to do something for X and something for Y. So we'll start with X. So 3 matches with X. That was our numbers before, I think. And I need to set aside that they're both numbers, so 5 and 30. Okay, I have to have one fraction that both of them are 30s. Or both of them are filled in with numbers, excuse me. So 5x equals 90. So for this one, you should have gotten x equals 18. So let's try the y. Now we're going to use the other one. We're going to use our corresponding sides that have the y's. And again, we're going to go back. We're going to ignore those x's and that 3. We're going to use this one that has both numbers. We're going to use that twice. Okay, cross multiply. So now we have 5y equals 120. Divide by 5. It should be, let's see, 120 divided by 5 is 24. All right, so if you had 18 and 24, you got both of them correct. All right, one more page. Let's see how I did with these questions. So a photo with a length of 3 inches and a width of 7 inches. They are, we know, are similar. They're enlarged, so it's going to be a bigger one. Make it a little bigger. To the poster is 12 inches, and we want to know the width. Okay, so this is your corresponding sides again. 3 matches with 12, 7 matches with x. That's how you set up your proportions. So 3 over 12, and then 7 over x. So cross multiply. 3x equals 12 times 7 is 84. Let me make sure 12 times 7 is 84. Yep, good. Divide both sides by 3, and you should get 28. 28 inches. Okay, so if you got 28/14, you got it correct. Dilation again is multiply. So multiply both of these by 5. You should get 20 and -15. And then our last one, we know we're only going to move a prime, so I guess I'll just do that for this one. We're going to go 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 down. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is a tough one. Oh, I gave you a tough one. Okay, it lands right on the y-axis. So you did not move to the left and you did not move to the right. So the x is going to be 0 and this y is going to be -1 because this is 1 on the -y. So if you got 0, -1, you got it correct. So when you go to do your homework tonight, again, you're going to see that it's the same exact questions, the same 8 questions that you learned today. Okay, and then once you're done with those 8 questions, then I go back to day 2. That's how I do every single one. I do those questions and the day before, so it helps you keep practicing, because the more you practice, the better you will get. All right, so don't forget to post it onto Google Classroom to get credit. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye.